Hi everyone, this is a course overview for the Internet for Educators. The central focus of this course is educational website design. Everything weaves into this big idea. You will work with two primary tools in this course, Dreamweaver, which is used to generate the code and allows us to create web pages easily, and Fireworks, which is an image editing program. If you've purchased Adobe CS6, then you have everything that you need. In this course, you will work with code, specifically focusing on HTML5 and CSS3, and you will work and learn design principles. In other words, how do we make a web page look nice? You will also learn about digital learning materials. We'll create several digital learning materials throughout the semester. And we're going to work with accessibility. How do we make digital materials and web pages accessible to all learners? So the web is an evolving place. Back in the 1990s, we had the original web, which people now refer to as Web 1.0. It was primarily access and read. It was great at the time and had everything we needed and more. But we then saw the emergence of Web 2.0 and a bunch of new social networking tools, blogs, and wikis, which all of these things enabled people the ability to edit a web page directly from a web browser. But now the last couple of years, people are talking about Web 3.0. Web 3.0 isn't clearly defined. Some people refer to it as the semantic web, which is an intelligent web. You can also find stuff about mobile devices, which enables people to get to the web in an entirely new way than ever before. Digital instructional content is everywhere these days. This is becoming more important than everywhere. Why, you ask? Because we are seeing initiatives such as laptop initiatives where schools are thinking of replacing textbooks in favor of laptops and digital content. Online education is everywhere and continues to grow. In Idaho, for instance, they are now requiring high school graduates to complete 2 online courses by the time they graduate. We're seeing more and more ebooks and of course cell phones. So knowing how to create digital instructional content from scratch is a nice skill to have. But with all this digital instructional content, we have to continually think about accessibility. So in this course, we will spend a lot of time about accessibility and what does it mean to create accessible websites? What is accessible website design? Part of this is related to the standards which are in Section 508 of the Disability Act and the WCAG, which is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines from the World Wide Web Consortium. We will explore how people create websites so people with different disabilities, primarily visual impairments, can access the content. A lot of this is done through CSS. Just separating the format from the content does a ton. Accessible HTML features such as adding alternative text for images and summaries for tables are things that can be added to increase the accessibility of a web page. We will also use the FANGS extension for Firefox web browser, which emulates a screen reader in text form. And there are several online evaluation tools that can be used to identify any problems with your website. So EdTech 502 is primarily a project-based course. You need to spend time looking over the syllabus and be sure to look at the syllabus for the specific section that you are registered with, because every instructor will make minor changes to his or her syllabus. You will see all of the assignments and the points listed for each assignment in the syllabus. This is a project-based course. All that you learn is contextualized into the projects. This will enable us to integrate multiple skills throughout the semester. We will work with the tools, the code, the design in these projects and create digital instructional content. You will learn how to do the code, you will learn how to use Dreamweaver, you will learn how to work with images, and you will put it all together in these projects while keeping accessibility in mind throughout it all. And at the same time, we will explore search tools, copyright, and issues like fair use. Finally, we will have online discussions where we will talk about current events and other issues. So how much time do you need to spend on this course? Well, it depends. At the bare minimum, you need to devote enough time to complete the required reading, watch the required videos, and complete the required assignments. Our typical rule of thumb for a fall or spring semester course, we expect students to spend 9 to 12 hours per week. For a summer semester, because that 16-week course is basically offered in 8 weeks, we expect you to spend 18 to 24 hours per week. You can imagine how tough it can be to take 2 courses like this during the summer while working full-time. So it's important that you prepare adequately and that you schedule time to work in this course. Because the reality is that while we estimate that it should take you 9 to 12 hours a week during fall or spring semester, every student is different. Some students learn faster than others, and at the same time, Troubleshooting is a key part of web development. You're going to find that things are going to go wrong sometimes and that you're going to have to spend time troubleshooting, whether it's with your peers in the class, your instructor, or simply looking for resources online and trying to find out what's going on. So it's key that you devote enough time to not only complete the assignments, but also have some of that time for any troubleshooting that might be necessary. So what are ways people get into trouble with this course? Well, one way is they fail to purchase the required materials for this course. So this course has a required textbook, has some optional textbooks that we highly recommend. It has a lender membership that you need to purchase and required software. Another problem students run into is they wait into the last minute to install the software. And inevitably, sometimes issues will come up, whether it's the computer's too old to run the software or there could be other issues. The point is you don't want to wait till the last minute to install the software required for this course. Using trial versions among multiple computers is a problem students run into. So trying to avoid purchasing the software, students keep trying to download 30-day trial versions and going back and forth over multiple computers. And while there are a lot of issues with this, the biggest issue is it's nearly impossible to effectively manage and organize your files across multiple computers, and students inevitably who try to do this run into problems. Another problem students run into is when they try to run software like Adobe CS6 on old and outdated computers. It just doesn't work. Another common way students run into problems in this course is they wait into the due date to ask for help, or they wait into the due date to start work on an assignment, and often they might not know that they need help until late in the day when it's too late to get help in time to turn in an assignment before the deadline. Another common problem students have is they don't schedule enough time to complete the assignments. As we said before, we estimate, for instance, during a fall or spring semester, it takes 9 to 12 hours. But the reality is it can sometimes take more, it can sometimes take less, but you need to start early each week and give yourself enough time to complete the assignments and enough time to ask for help in a timely manner and to troubleshoot any things that come up. You will find that, especially if you're new to web development and coding, that learning how to use these tools is not like learning Microsoft Word. It's a very different skill set and it takes time. Finally, last but not least, students run into problems when they don't read the syllabus, when they don't read about the course assignments, look at the rubrics, when they don't read the announcements, when they don't read their course email, or they watch the required videos. So these are all some of the ways that we found that students commonly run into problems, if they do, when taking a course like this. With that said, if you follow our advice and you schedule enough time, you purchase the materials in advance, and you give yourself enough time to read about each assignment, to watch all of the required videos, to do the required reading, and possibly even to have some optional resources like textbooks, you will find that you will do just fine in this course. As always, it's important to always do your original work. Sometimes when working with code and with web development, it's so easy to view the source code of someone else that it can be tempting just to copy and paste it. But in general, you want to avoid copying and pasting from websites, student projects, and instructor examples. You need to do your own work in this course. Work submitted for a different class cannot be submitted for credit in this class as well. And finally, violations will be reported to BSU. If you have any questions about academic honesty, just contact your instructor. Finally, details on each assignment can be found in Moodle. If you have any questions about any assignments or any questions about the course in general, please contact your instructor. Have a great semester. Thanks.